She tried to have me killed. Well, you told me to be kind to her. I told you to thank her. If you thought Outlander couldn't break your heart any more than it already has, brace yourself. Season 8 is gearing up to be the most emotional, devastating, and jaw-dropping chapter yet. Rumors are swirling about a tragic death on the horizon. But what if that very tragedy also brings back a face we haven't seen in years? That's right. Frank Randall might finally return. And trust me, the way it could happen will blow your mind. According to Diana Gabaldon herself, the 8th and final season will tie up Outlander's sprawling story in ways that diverge from the books, but not completely. The show is expected to weave together threads from Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone and even parts of her yet-to-be-published 10th novel. So, while Starz is taking creative liberties, one thing is almost certain. We'll get at least one major book moment that changes everything, and might open the door for Frank's return. For longtime fans, Frank Randall, played brilliantly by Tobias Menzies, was a cornerstone of Outlander's earliest chapters. He was Claire's first husband before she met Jamie, but since his death in Season 3, we've only glimpsed him once, a brief flashback in Season 4. 7 years without Frank, or his sinister doppelganger Black Jack Randall, has left a gap that feels too large to ignore. And if Jamie's fate follows the same tragic pattern as in Gabaldon's novels, that gap might finally close. When Season 7 wrapped, we saw Jamie and Claire at the Battle of Monmouth. Claire wounded, Jamie conflicted, and both ready to walk away from the Continental Army. That storyline perfectly mirrors where the books pick up in Written in My Own Heart's Blood, where the Frasers head home to Fraser's Ridge, seeking peace. But peace doesn't last. By the time Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone unfolds, the war finds its way to North Carolina, forcing Jamie to return to the battlefield one last time. And that's when tragedy strikes. Jamie falls in battle, his body lifeless, leaving Claire shattered. But in one of the most powerful moments Gabaldon ever wrote, Claire senses a faint spark of life still inside him. And with her healing skills, she pulls him back from death. It's intense, it's intimate, it's unforgettable, and it's almost guaranteed to be a centerpiece of Season 8. This resurrection scene not only cements Claire's power, but could also tie back to one man who's been gone for years, Frank Randall. You see, in the books, Jamie already knows he's destined to die. How? Because Brianna returns from the future carrying a history book describing the Revolutionary War, and it details Jamie Fraser's death. Here's the twist. That history book was written by none other than Frank Randall. Suddenly, Frank's return makes perfect sense. Through flashbacks, we could see how he pieced together Jamie's life, studied his battles, and even documented the moment of his supposed death. It's a haunting, emotional bridge between past and future, and it would give Tobias Menzies one last chance to leave his mark on the series. And honestly, the setup is already there. In Season 7, Brianna was shown reading one of Frank's works, The Soul of a Rebel, The Scottish Roots of the American Revolution, the very same book she later brings back through time in Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone. That's no coincidence. It's foreshadowing. It's Starz quietly telling us, Frank's story isn't over. Frank knew far more than he ever let on. Earlier seasons hinted that he had researched Claire and Jamie's history, even discovering the fire at Fraser's Ridge and the reports of their deaths. Meaning, he knew Jamie survived Culloden. He knew Claire went back. He knew she wouldn't stay in the 20th century forever. So why write a book about Jamie's death? Maybe it wasn't just history. Maybe it was a message, a final gift to Claire and Brianna, helping them understand the man who defined their destiny. And if Season 8 gives us that emotional flashback, Frank alone in his study, piecing together old letters, documents, and war records, it would not only bring closure to his arc, but remind us that none of this story would exist without him. Without Frank, Claire never would have gone to Scotland. She never would have stepped through the stones. She never would have met Jamie. That's why bringing him back now, at the end, would make the entire saga come full circle. But Outlander's final season won't just look backward. It's also setting up the future, or rather, the past. The upcoming prequel, Blood of My Blood will dive into the love stories of Jamie and Claire's parents, Brian and Ellen Fraser, and Henry and Julia Beauchamp. And already, early trailers are teasing some wild revelations that could directly affect Season 8. For starters, Henry and Julia might not have died in the car crash Claire believed killed them. Instead, they could have somehow survived and crossed through the stones into the 18th century. If true, that twist would change everything we know about Claire's family and open the possibility that her parents could interact with key figures from the main timeline, including Ellen Fraser herself. But the biggest shocker might tie back to one of Outlander's oldest mysteries, the fate of Claire's first daughter, Faith. Fans have long theorized that Faith didn't truly die, that she was secretly saved by the enigmatic Master Raymond and given to another couple to raise. And now, with Blood of My Blood hinting at Claire's parents being alive in the 1700s, some believe they might have raised Faith themselves. It sounds crazy, but think about it. It would connect every generation of Claire's family in one elegant, time-twisting arc. Parents and daughter reunited across centuries, unknowingly shaping each other's destinies. It's heartbreaking. It's poetic. And it's exactly the kind of full-circle storytelling Outlander has always done best. Season 8 promises a powerful blend of loss, love, and closure. Jamie's brush with death, Claire's miraculous healing, Faith's possible survival, and Frank's long-awaited return. Every thread that began a decade ago finally weaves together into one final tapestry. And when the credits roll for the very last time, we'll see how all these souls, bound by time, war, and love, finally find peace. So, what do you think? Will Frank Randall make one last appearance? Will Faith return from the shadows? Or will Outlander end with the heartbreak we all fear but secretly expect? Drop your theories in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you love diving deep into the Outlander universe. Because if this final season truly is the end, it's going to be one we'll never forget.